Hi, welcome to Cat and Mouse Astrology. I'm Mickey,
I'm Kat.
and we are here to talk about the new moon eclipse in Scorpio. Yeah, an eclipse in Scorpio.
That's gonna be rough, I feel. I haven't even looked at the chart yet. Just those two words together.
South Node conjunct Venus.
South Node conjunct. So, okay, so it's gonna be about like your deep hidden relationship values do over.
Yeah, yeah, we've got it's a pretty powerful um lead up to the second eclipse in 2 weeks on election day.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. So we've got a real double whammy. And of course, as all the astrologers have been talking about for the last year, this is our Pluto return.
Mm-hmm.
And Pluto is getting to the last degrees of Capricorn. It's going to end up going into Aquarius here over the next few years. We're in for some sea changes.
Thank God.
Yeah, yeah, we need to finish up some processes that have been really rocking the boat. I don't know, maybe grab your oars and start to paddle.
I feel better that Venus is involved.
I feel really good
Like
because
when you just say eclipse, new moon eclipse and Scorpio, it's like, ooh. But then throw Venus in, it's like, oh, okay, that could be helpful.
right. This has
It
to
can
do with
always be
our
helpful.
values, right?
Yeah,
Our deepest values, our deepest desires, maybe our hidden values,
exactly.
what
Our hidden desires.
our hidden desires, what we're passionate about. What's scorpionic?
Other people's
Scorpios are
money.
money, yeah, money, sex, death, and money.
Sex, death, and money.
Sex, death, and money. I don't know, Scorpio seems to be really one of those signs that are the least well understood.
Yeah, it likes it that way.
Yeah. Under a rock, poking its
Deep in
stinger
the
out, just when
recesses
you
of
don't
the
expect.
ocean.
Right. And let's take a look at the chart too, because I think we've got, this is a Mars heavy, this is Mars's sign. I think we've got some interesting Mars configurations as well too.
Mars is not retrograde at the moment. Is that right?
But it's stationing right this second.
Ooh, look at that eclipse.
Right. Over the next few days, it's not moving. Mars isn't. So we got a little cat and mouse symbol. I
Oh,
found a cat and mouse symbol for us. So anyway, um, doing some prettier graphics, trying anyway here.
yeah.
And so here's the new moon in Scorpio. I was thinking maybe it needs a sacrifice,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because this is our deepest values and it's on the South Node. So it means that what are we giving away?
Yeah.
What are we going to
Okay.
need to let go of?
Okay. And a sacrifice can also just be an offering.
Very, very pointful. Yes, very good point.
Like
Yeah,
sacrifice has a pretty negative connotation, like it's something you don't want to give up. But an offering can be like in Pachacuti, we make offerings to Pachamama as a gratitude.
exactly. And that's working with the energy rather than reacting to the energy.
Right.
I've been trying to be conscious of that myself, being someone with Mars in Gemini natally.
Uh,
I can be like, oh my God, what's this going to mean? Or I can be like, hey, let's take a look at how this can be, really positive, how I can use this energy in a positive way.
right.
Not all energy is wonderful energy, but
Yeah,
you can Tai Chi it, as Rick Levine would say, you can redirect that energy and use it in some positive way.
that's right.
So there's some energy. I think that's really, there's maybe a bubbling volcano really going on here,
Ooh,
right? South Node, something may be erupting in some interesting or maybe passionate ways.
yeah.
Let's scoot on over here. I did an interpretation of this, but I don't have anything written for our Sabian symbols we probably want to take a look at.
Okay.
So can you give up something you desire to realize something deeper, maybe? With Venus involved, as you say, that we've got something, something we value, something that's we appreciate.
Yeah, and because it's a Venus Cazimi, so it's one of those 5 points in Venus's progression through the sky, where it meets up with the sun. It's said to be a purification of the Venusian energies. And so maybe it is something of like, let the sun burn away things that you have thought you valued, but maybe aren't really attuned with you. We live in this capitalist society, and like we're bombarded with messages of things we should want. And sometimes the things we want aren't really things we want. They're just what the world has put on us and told us we should want. And so maybe this is a good opportunity to sacrifice those kinds of desires and values for something that's more true to your core.
Absolutely. We'd love to take a look at the Sabian symbol for this.
Yeah, okay. What is it?
Yeah, let me pause briefly and I'll pull that up.
Okay.
So we can take a look at that, because I think that would be really good to see. So here we have the chart, Sabian symbols for the chart, which I don't know, there's kind of an ugly ease because there's a lot of sextiles and trines between some of the malefics.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's 2 degrees is Scorpio. That's a delicate bottle of perfume lies broken, releasing its fragrance.
Interesting.
It is interesting, isn't it?
So that's something shattered. Something about desires getting shattered and released.
Yeah, I mean, that's where that being willing to sacrifice something maybe comes from.
Right.
I think that this symbol is somehow representative of the Venus in Scorpio, which is not her happy place,
Right.
with the South Node. And as you
Ooh.
say, she certainly ameliorates. If it wouldn't be pleasant if she wasn't there, but this may be tough on her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this
I have a feeling if you're not willing to let go of something or release some fragrance, then it's just going to be done for you.
I'm afraid you're right. That's the trine. The ease here is an ease to have these negative energies, have sway. Pluto at 26, the ability to perceive the hidden and creative spirit of natural phenomenon.
Okay.
Now, I kind of perceive Pluto as fairly negative. I don't know that it's seen as any kind of a malefic, especially being an outer planet. Mostly, I think it really just represents, those things that are potentially explosive, potentially transformational.
Yeah.
The real issue with Pluto is, are you ready for a change?
Yeah. Right.
And also the hidden part of it, which is represented with the Sabian symbol. I always find it so interesting that the Sabian symbol is so well represented here, representative of the Pluto's placement here.
What do you mean?
That the Sabian symbol is talking about the hidden and creative spirit of natural phenomenon, and Pluto representing those things that are hidden
and creative, because it's the wealth in the deep.
Exactly, because if we don't, we grow in soil, we grow in shit, forgive me. Right. But if you don't have any shit in your soil, you're not going to grow anything good. You got to fertilize. And that's what creates. And the natural phenomenon is just sitting there.
It's almost like 26 Capricorn is Pluto's like natural position.
Doesn't it feel like that?
It's so well perfectly encapsulates what Pluto is.
truly does. So there's an ease though, when we look at the Pluto, when we go back to the chart here in a minute, we look at how Pluto is making a trine or a sextile with, I believe, Mars right now, and Mars the moon.
Mm.
There's some stuff going on. Now, Neptune, just to make sure things are cloudy, used. So what do you think of this one? The ability to give of one's own vital energy to substantiate one's conscious ideals or unconscious desires.
But come on. How is that not exactly Venus and Scorpio?
Oh, I guess so, really. No, explain that though. Go deeper.
Okay. Neptune. So Neptune in Pisces is like the ultimate dreaminess or delusion. And we've been here for a while. And like I was talking about earlier, sometimes the world tells us what we should want. Right? So that could be delusions. And so maybe this South Node, new moon eclipse, is going to clear away the delusions that Neptune in Pisces has engendered and give us the opportunity to substantiate what our actual ideals and desires are, which is Venus's domain, your ideals and desires, what you value, your relationships, and what you find beautiful. So yeah, what's the alignment between Neptune and the Sun and Venus?
Yeah, I can flip over there real quick.
Pisces to Scorpio.
Here's our chart.
Okay.
Neptune and the Sun is, we don't really have anything at
Not
all,
really anything. Okay.
right now between them, but we do.
Oh, but Neptune is a trine to the black moon.
Exactly, and the black moon is square with the moon.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so we're gonna have to see what the black moon has to say.
So our delusions and our, perhaps our delusions, and look at the sextile between Pluto and Neptune.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
the sextiles between, that's why I'm calling them kind of ugly, because there's an ease. The sextile represents ease.
Yeah, but I wouldn't call that ugly because they're both giving you the ability to perceive something real that's usually hidden.
Yeah, I mean, well, the ease, let's look at what's the ease between Neptune and Pluto signify? I mean, there's some deep, dark stuff going on, but it's more governmental in the sign of Capricorn with Pluto. And that dark stuff has been coming to the surface. We've been seeing that in the outer world. So,
yeah,
as presumably we're seeing that in our inner lives, as well as maybe things are exposed, or we ourselves are willing to look deeper at our own past and maybe make adjustments in our thinking. It can be that kind of transformation that's going on in this Capricornian area.
mm-hmm.
The ease it has is with the bigger, not necessarily deception, not necessarily delusion. It could just be a bigger dream.
Could be a bigger dream.
But it could be deception or delusion.
Yeah, I mean, we're all in different places.
So, I mean, here, if you look in the outer world, to me, that is a configuration that is maybe lending some energy to Putin.
We're not going to talk about Russia, though.
Right. But there's dark stuff, there's dark stuff and a delusion.
And yeah, these are always possibilities, though.
Right,
The world's made up of both and.
Right.
So it's like, what do you want to do with it?
Well, exactly. So, I mean, I'm just looking at it as an example in the outer world. You can have dark stuff nicely configured with a delusion that gives you a bad, dark delusion.
It's true.
So what's the positive configuration with those things? How do we use that energy positively within our own lives?
I would see the positive as getting clear on what your values and desires are, like your goals. Capricorn is very goal oriented. And then being able to dream big and creatively to find the path toward those goals.
That's going to be a challenge, though, but I agree with you completely. that would be the ultimate goal here to make this positive, but we've got a square between Pluto and this moon. This is not, this is a wagon trying to move forward on square wheels. So you're gonna have
Right.
to put some extra effort into this, turning this corner. And
Right.
this is where having, I think, some kind of a mantra, know what your goals are. So that you can keep, you have some positive, something positive to keep in mind, a lyric of a song. I like to say, just keep swimming. So it's just keep swimming, because it's positive. If you can find something like that in your own lives, I think that this can help us in a personal way to turn a corner. And there's this other similar meaninged configuration. We've got Neptune and Pluto.
Yeah.
Pluto, the deep dark, bubbling to the surface, stuff that might be creatively productive, but also maybe a big shitty mess we have to clean up.
Right.
And we have Black Moon Lilith, which is like, hide the shit. You don't even know this shit. What shit? You know me? I don't see any shit.
I'm slogging through shit.
Sorry with all the
Don't look at my shit.
But that's how I see Dark Moon Lilith, is kind of like, that's that place where we don't see our own reflection.
Yeah. That point where we're like triggered reactively.
Potentially.
Like anything that triggers us reactively is like a Black Moon thing.
And look here, we also have, there's the square with the moon.
And then there's a square between Neptune and Mars.
Right.
Shit.
That's why I called this some kind of
this is hard.
There's an ease for shit to fly off the handle.
It's gonna be real easy for it to be a real shitty time. But I feel like I've already been there for the past several weeks. So
put on some gloves and make some, get creative. But I'm afraid that this could be. Let's look at
it's also just like a really fucking good time to deal with your garden. Just like get in the dirt and let that be your shitty shit stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
now look at
your pots and put the garden beds to bed and take out that trash, garden trash.
Perfect. Use that energy in just exactly that way, and you'll have really good results.
Yeah.
Fertilizer. But it is on a famous singer is proving her virtuosity during an operatic performance. That is interesting for Black Moon.
It is. Famous singer proving her virtuosity during an operatic performance. Okay, you know what's gonna make somebody a virtuosic singer and able to perform is fucking practice.
Absolutely, yeah.
Day in, day out, show the fuck up to the mat, practice.
Good point. Yeah. So whatever you have to do, whatever may be coming up for you at this time, and eclipses aren't on a specific day. They are on a specific day, but the meaning and impact of the eclipse is said to last for potentially up to 6 months, depending on the eclipse. So this doesn't necessarily mean what you're doing this minute, but maybe what's coming up for you is something you want to practice at.
And it's whatever's in Cancer.
Right. That is really good advice. I'm going to take that seriously. That's my 10th house, and I have to do a public speaking event. Maybe I should practice it.
Yeah.
Good idea.
And that's my 4th house, so it's day in, day out. Home matters.
Right. Well, it's time for a new recipe, and I don't know. Practice it until that sponge cake is. You're doing art too as well, though, right?
Oh, I wish I were doing art. No, I'm just like slogging away at like caregiving.
Well, that's an art too.
It is.
That's an art too, baby. And taking care of other people is maybe the most difficult and important art, because don't we all want it?
Yeah. Don't we all need it?
Yeah. Yeah. So now what do you think of the new moon in Mars?
Okay.
And let me go back here again. I'm sorry, I'm going to go back and forth one more time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, here we've got, again, a positive configuration. That's the blue line, both between Mars and the Sun, and Mars and Venus over there. We've got a lovely trine here.
That's not a trine.
Yeah, between Mars and the Moon and Sun.
That's in the, why is that showing a trine? Because Mars is in Gemini and, oh, because it's so close to the beginning of
Yeah,
the month. Oh, okay, okay,
by
sorry.
sign. It's a trine by sign. That's why there's two lines, because one's exact and one's by sign. But
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
we've got the energy is configured to do the bidding of the sun,
Right.
right? And then notice the configuration with Saturn here too, that is also positively configured.
Okay, okay. So the eclipse is positive with Saturn and Mars. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, if I were a deep sea diver,
Yeah.
right? And I had always dreamed of going to the bottom of the ocean where no one has ever explored.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of positive energy and a good vehicle, a structure to get me there.
That's right. That's right. Good call, Mickey.
So there's some
So Saturn and Mars are actually going to be helpful
exactly.
getting through this eclipse season. Who
So
would have thought?
right, we've got two more. I mean, this isn't all, you know, piss and vinegar. You know, there's some good stuff in here too.
Mars is a gardener trimming large palm trees. Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
See, you just got to tidy shit up.
Yeah, tidy it up, tidy it up. Palm trees are interesting, but yeah, tidying up, I think that's it. And Saturn and Mercury maybe talking about boundaries, like literally talking about boundaries.
That is important to do.
Right. And that again could be on the larger stage,
Yeah.
you know, talking about borders, like back off and have a treaty. And we may be talking about boundaries in our inner lives.
Yeah.
So we also have the final configuration, the final thing listed here that talks about Mars for 7 months
Oh.
In Gemini. So we're just now, you know, we've got
Did Mars enter Gemini on August 20th?
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and scroll down just to look at this together. But you know, for me, as a native of this, you know, I want to do it all. That's how it is, especially in the house that you have Gemini.
Uh-huh.
So for me, it's in my 9th house. So I took a lot of languages and I traveled a lot,
Oh.
right? I've been to many countries. I've studied many languages. How Gemini Mars is that?
That, yeah. Okay, so my Mars and Gemini is my 3rd house. What does that mean?
3rd house is our connections with others and our self. That's the writer as compared to the publisher in the 9th house.
Ah, okay.
Right? That's our
Oh, so it's a good time for writing for me. Maybe I'll get my writing back up.
right.
Okay.
That's our short trips as compared to our long trips.
Okay. So it's my daily journaling habits that will help me get to the long trips of writing a
Right.
book again.
It's our daily duties as opposed to our longer term goals.
Okay, that's very accurate in terms of my birthday, which is normally a Leo season thing, but I'm on the cusp. But this year, my birthday started on Virgo.
See,
It was the
that's
birthday of Virgo. So it's like combined.
you're giving.
Yeah.
You're Virgoing. You're doing the Virgo.
And with the daily tasks thing, which is also very Virgo.
Very Virgo.
And add that with Mars and Gemini. And
which is
apparently,
you know,
I've got a whole year.
that's Mercury's sign. I mean, Mercury shares Virgo or Virgo and Gemini share Mercury. Isn't that the way to put it?
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
Mercury lives in Gemini, and it's the going back. It's the messenger. Let me run up and downstairs and get a message, and go downstairs and do this, and let me come back upstairs and do that. Let me go downstairs.
That's been my life. Yes.
Completely. And of course, Mercury also goes upstairs, metaphorically to the
Right.
spirits, and then downstairs to Hades.
Okay, I'm gonna use it.
It's the messenger of the gods. It's not just
That's me, Mickey.
you just defined it. So I
I
wrote
am the
some,
messenger of the gods.
I wrote some details of this, and this is in the, this is, well, I'm going to scroll down a little bit here so we can see it. But Mars on January 12th is going to go direct at 8 degrees.
Okay.
So I always look at this as like a record. You know, I know nobody plays records anymore. I still have a little record player. But if you put a needle on a record player, right?
Yeah.
Well, people still scratch. You go, that's what it's doing.
Yeah.
You scratch a record.
Okay.
Right. And anything that you've got going on between 8 degrees and 25 degrees of Gemini is getting a rub.
Okay.
It is getting a rub. So I'm gonna go back over here and look at the chart again. So we've got some stuff, very interesting stuff going on. I'm gonna scroll down one more because I know I've got two more. Oh yeah.
I love the little tiger.
Yeah, that's the cat. I forgot to put the mouse in that picture, darn it.
I like it. I like what you're doing better than the like word document. This is more fun and easier.
Yeah, exactly. And my brain is headed towards that time of year where it's got to be simplified, right? So we've got the Scorpio Venus, and I think, I don't know, it probably was Rick Levine who described Scorpio and Venus as like a hooker, or you know, a girl dressed in spiky high heels, red spike high heels.
Yeah, for
you know,
sure.
Venus is she might be armed.
Yeah.
She might have a revolver in her purse.
I was gonna say something inappropriate, maybe. She's a little dirty.
Yeah, exactly.
She likes it a little dirty.
This is a Venus that might have a whip in her hand.
Yes.
So if you're into kinky stuff, whoa,
Venus Scorpio is kinky
really
stuff.
good times.
Yeah.
Just be careful, don't get hurt.
Yeah.
With that ease of the platonic stuff could go too deep. I don't know. Maybe we better quit with these analogies, but but this could be, you know, used wisely. There's a lot of energy here.
Yeah.
And again, we've got this, we talked a little bit about the Mars square Neptune. That happened on the 12th of October. We have a repeat on the 19th of November.
Okay.
And then again on March 14th. So if you haven't figured out what this means in your life, you will.
Right.
Right. So this just happened. You know, it's today, you know, this moon is on the 25th. So this,
and each of those squares is going to be between Pisces and Gemini, because
exactly.
Neptune is so slow moving and Mars is in retrograde.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So figure out your Neptune Gemini.
Exactly. What's going on for you? I mean, we know Gemini is highly activated, and guess what's going to happen? Just guess, Jupiter is going to go back in to Pisces. Oh, and I didn't put the date of this on here, but I think it's in March.
Okay.
So we're going to get a big, this is going to be bigger.
Yeah.
Whatever this is going to be bigger as it goes forward. So, you know, I think my recommendation, because Mars is a malefic and this is a square, my recommendation is, what's Neptune mean to you in your life? Because it's being whacked. For me, you know, maybe that's why I didn't decide based on this personally, but I did recently quit drinking. Seems like a good time.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a Neptune placement that might be, you know, Neptune could be drinking, right? Neptune could represent drug use. Neptune in Pisces, and of course we've had a real issue. I don't know if it correlates. There are people who do, but I don't know if it correlates to when Neptune went into Pisces, but we have absolutely had an increase in drug addiction, suicides, delusional, mental illness stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of it without care,
Hmm.
certainly since 2020. And Neptune in this placement, Neptune in Pisces, that is this placement. It's not the 12th house. Well, if it is your 12th house, even worse.
It's my 12th house.
Well, then give us some personal experience, Kat.
And you know what? It might actually be like on my south node right now.
So how are you experiencing this?
I haven't thought about it yet. I don't know.
Is it you said you're not doing your art?
I'm not doing my art.
Creativity?
I am like completely sluggish. I have no motivation or energy to do anything like that. And I could blame it on the new grief of recent weeks, but it's lasted longer than that.
And Mars has been slowing down for a month,
Yeah.
right? Mars has hardly moved at all in October.
Yeah.
This is your energy.
Yeah.
Mars is your Aries energy.
I got nothing.
Right. So you probably are not going to have energy until March. Sorry, that's not true, because this is the square. It's the Mars configuration that we have to look at. Let me go back here and see if I have that down here. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool.
Oh, look at you.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, because I have Mars in Gemini.
Yeah. Okay.
So found out what house Gemini is for you. That's where some important action is going to happen. So again, the Sabian symbols for 8 and 25 degrees. Aroused strikers surround a factory.
Oh, I like that one. Okay.
On September 4 and January 12. That's when Mars stations to go direct.
Okay.
And that's when your energy should start to come back.
In January.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then you're just going back over all the old shit because you won't have a chance to move forward till March.
Okay. That's all right. I'll just have to like relearn all my skills that I've dropped off.
Right.
God
So
what's that got to do with Neptune and Pisces?
Well,
node.
They're both related because wherever you have Neptune and Pisces, you're going to have this square. Right? So if Gemini is your first house, you might decide to take action on a self-improvement project, right? Join a gym, start going when you didn't go before. Extra energy you spend on yourself will require a reassessment and a redo, and you won't actually show any results until the end of March, right? And I was just talking about that.
It's got to have faith.
Never gonna lose anyway. So if it's the second house, then it may be a lot of action in the pocketbook, right? Maybe doing a lot of spending, taking action on behalf of possessions. And the extra energy spent on your assets may be just a drain right now, and it won't pay off until March.
Right.
And all this started in September. So people that started stuff in September thinking, hey, this will be done by Christmas, by New Year. No.
Okay, so the fire stove, the wood burning stove that I'm putting in my cabin might not really be all that useful over the winter, but by next spring when it's still cold out, I'm going to be really grateful I started that in September.
Right. And you're the third house, right? Third house Gemini?
Third house Gemini.
So yes. A lot of action in your neighborhood or with siblings.
Okay.
Right. I think it's more Virgoan, but it's again, it's Mercury going up and down stairs. Mercury's Gemini's ruler.
Right.
A lot of endless errands, maybe taking on a lot of projects.
Yeah. Okay. So no extra projects beyond my household.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just go through the rest of these real quick. If it's fourth house, a lot of action at home, maybe remodeling that's delayed, or a family member remodeling project. Sometimes people want to redo. Fifth house, creative project or a child or a romance that requires extra energy or a redo, and the knowledge that we're not going to see results till March.
Right.
Seventh house could be personal or professional relationships that require the extra energy. Eighth house, it could have something to do with institutions or other people's resources. So, people that are dealing with, estates of somebody, hoping that they're going to get cash before Christmas. Well, maybe not.
Mm.
You don't want to count on that. Maybe you're just going to be, things are going to be going forward.
I kind of feel like don't count on anything until March
That's what it looks like. It's
for everybody.
It's Mars. For me, it's my 9th house. Publishing. Yeah, I'm writing a book and I want to travel, and it looks like nothing I'm going to do is probably going to happen until March. I've tried to get into several different book festivals, and I can't, nobody will respond to me. I've tried to email and I haven't heard anything back. So everything's sitting on a back burner, like waiting. It's 10th house. It's career or public life requiring the extra energy.
Yeah.
And 11th house could have to do with group activities. And finally, 12th house, again, could have to do with institutions, secrets, the past, all that stuff could have a redo. And then don't forget, we have the Uranus square Saturn. Right now, happening, it's going to be within 2 degrees on election day.
Yeah.
So that's, the backdrop of what we're going through.
This is rough stuff, Mickey.
It is. So I put up this beware of the squares thing. Again, Uranus square Saturn, Uranus surprise, but also inventiveness.
Yeah.
It also helps us to break free.
Right. Revolution.
Right. More of us have gardens now. We were talking about using that shit this year than we ever did, in the past few years. So we're taking maybe better care of some of our basic human needs. Places.
There's been a real uptick in discourse, an anti-capitalist discourse. Have you noticed that in the past couple of years?
I have, and that probably has a lot to do with how we're producing food, money, and our basic human needs.
Yeah, the like lack of the systems caring for basic human and other than human needs. Like the way that things are set up solely for capital accumulation by the few is like people are noticing.
Right. That's
Uranus.
That old authoritative constrictive structure isn't working.
No.
And people are demanding something that works better.
That's right.
I mean, obviously that's just going to have to be the way it is.
Right. God, I really can't wait for Pluto to get into Aquarius.
Right. Well, we got a couple of Sabian symbols here for 17, which is where Uranus is. A symbolic battle between swords and torches.
Right.
And 18, a man's secret motives are being publicly unmasked.
Oh, Saturn.
Yeah. So
swords and torches, the symbolic battle between swords and torches. I want to lean towards a tarot kind of interpretation.
Oh, good.
That's what is it? That's like conflict or like the working, but because it's a battle, it's a conflict between air. Swords are air, which is intellect, and torches are fire, which is action.
Interesting. Air are intellect, and fire just acting without maybe thinking first.
Possibly, or like actually making a movement towards something. Like your work ethic kind of thing. The actual like embodiment of things.
Well, these are some things to watch out for, but we do have a couple of trines that are, worth, using this energy.
Yeah, those are useful.
October 22nd, Mercury trine Saturn. There we have that communication, that messenger of the gods that can be working with the structures positively.
Yeah, that's the same day as the Venus Cazimi and the new moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's real important. That day could be really powerful.
Yeah. So and don't forget Mercury trine Saturn on that day.
Yeah. What are you going to do that day? Are you going to use this energy?
I don't even know what day of the week that is.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
It's this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Oh shoot. Okay, I guess I don't know. Maybe I'll make a despacho and offer it to Mother Earth.
That's a nice one. Yeah. Mercury trine Mars. you know, a positive way to, maybe I should write a poem,
Ooh,
sharp-tongued poem.
that's a good idea.
But there's some good stuff here that's coming up, and you know, it's kind of like surfing, I think, you know, using the energy in the most positive way we can.
Mm-hmm.
But anything else we want to sum up with?
No? Well, okay, let's think about that Mercury trine Mars. I'm thinking that because we have this Venus in Scorpio and it's about the broken perfume bottle of desires, like rethinking your desires, maybe take the opportunity to let Mercury be the messenger for how to let Mars help you manifest those more real desires.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah,
make sense? Did I say that in a really weird way?
yeah. No, I just think Saturn was the only thing was missing Saturn,
Oh,
because Saturn's in that positive trine too.
right. So
Recognizing,
Saturn and Mars are going to give you the structure and the action to move towards those desires that
all right,
got broken free from their bottle of containment.
say it one more time. Somebody laughed at me.
Mercury, Mars, and Saturn are going to give you the information you need with the structures and the actions to take to break free of those limited desires to get to the real ones that will be released.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. You know, you know, trimming up something.
Trimming up the palm trees.
Yeah, trimming up those palm trees. Like, wait a minute, and they grow better when you trim.
It's
You know,
true.
when you trim up the, you know, what we call it, deadhead.
Yeah,
Call it deadheading.
that's right.
So there's the theme of the month: deadhead.
Yeah. Deadhead
Deadhead
those
your life.
desires.
Yeah, deadhead your desires so that the new blooms can grow.
That's right.
All right.
Perfect. Perfect.
Beautiful.
Pluto and Capricorn likes it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we will talk again at the next eclipse.
Okay.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.